What's up, everybody? It's your boy Prince Elias, and today is a brand new episode of Snake Cinema Podcast. And I'm so happy y'all are here to join me. Oh, and my camera was off. My bad, y'all. Welcome to another great episode. Super excited. Uh-oh. Let's pause before we get started. I think we'll talk more about it, Keys, in just a second. Um, sometimes these titles can have some truth to it, but also be a little clickbaitish. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, my microphone isn't working on my end. Y'all can probably hear, but still it's not working on my end. Give me 1 second, y'all. Keys, what's up? Thank you for tapping in this morning. Roll 50. Thank you for tapping in this morning. Give me 1 second. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. I'm trying to testing. If y'all can hear me, please say you can. If y'all can hear me, I just want to make sure we're all good. What up, Maki? Thanks for tapping in. Brian, what's up? Thanks for tapping in. Good morning. Good morning, y'all. Don D, Father Don, you already know. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Thank y'all for tapping in today. This is gonna be a good episode. And yes, my title of this episode is very aggressive and sensationalized, but it's for a good reason. It's for a good reason. Let's see. Also, okay, thank y'all. I just want to make sure because these headphones, they pick and choose when they want to do something. All right. So the past couple of weeks have been crazy. It has been crazy. Uh Last week was a very short podcast, but I recapped because I was out of town on vacation, but I did recap the NARBC St. Louis show. And the week before that, I didn't have a show because I was at NARBC and the Wi-Fi was not my friend. So I decided instead to go live on IG, which most of y'all did attend. I appreciate that. Or you watched the replay on Instagram. But so technically I did skip a week of podcasting on here, but we are back in full force in our regular schedule. Um, but thank y'all for being patient and adjusting to the time change and stuff. Also, does my picture quality look a bit better? Um, Today is Saturday. Yesterday was Black Friday, and the stores were so. But thanks to the recession, and thanks to online shopping, the stores. I went to Walmart and Target on Black Friday, and it was more employees than it was customers. And the shelves were stocked and full. I've never seen it on a Black Friday. It was like the Twilight Zone. I was like, what the hell? Why is there only five of us in here shopping? But long story short, I did. I went to Target, I went to Walmart, and then I went to Office Depot. And I got me a new Logitech camera for my laptop. And it says that it has HD 1080p, but unfortunately, since I refuse to pay for StreamYard is still showing in 720. But I wonder if you guys could tell the difference. I could tell a little bit on my end the difference between the camera that was built in my laptop and this Logitech, but I like it. I like it. And eventually I will pay StreamYard for the 1080p, the pro package. But right now, I still got to pay for my car repairs. I ain't got time to give StreamYard nothing, especially since my YouTube channel is not monetized yet. So I'm just keep using this free account. But what's up? Oh, Ken, thank you for coming in. What's up? Jay, what's up? What's up? Thank y'all for coming in, tuning in, Maki, Brian, everybody. Um, I appreciate y'all. So let's get the pleasantries out the way. This podcast and every podcast is brought to you by my sponsors, Mutation Station and Lucyland. They are the best rodent breeders in the Mid-South Memphis area, surrounding areas, as well as some pretty dope ball python breeders. And they've also been the best first clutch babysitters. They are where my first clutch, Wonder Dream and Magic, they're at their house, getting established. They've had their first meals, thank God, and no assist feeding needed. I think they get that from their mama because Coils was eating even up until ovulation, like she didn't give a damn. Whereas their father decided to go on a 6 months food strike. So they get that hunger from their mama. But thank you, Mutation Station and Lucy Land Ball Pythons, for always hooking your boy up, for being amazing mentors and great friends. So no matter what, these my channel will always have them as sponsors, them as support, and I will always ride or die for them. Can't none y'all can say about Mutation Station or Lucy Land that could get me to not fuck with them. Those are my people. Those are my family for life. Also, let's see. Life and animal updates. I gave you the animal updates. The babies have been eating. I haven't texted them yet, but they given them their first meals on yesterday. So I mean their second meals on yesterday. So I'm looking forward to hearing good news. Hopefully all three ate their second meals. And everything no problems, just like the first. So we will see. Uh, and then also I will be running next week, next Saturday. The podcast may not happen. I'm gonna let y'all know that right now. It may not happen, or it may happen later on in the evening after Lady Tiz's podcast, because I will be walking the St. Jude, the Memphis St. Jude 5K, a part of their big marathon weekend. So that morning, I cannot squeeze this podcast in my normal 9 a.m. time slot, because by that time the race would have been started. So I will be recording it for my second channel. I will be vlogging that walk. Because I know I'm not running it like everybody else. I'm walking it, but I will be vlogging that walk, and it will be posted on my second channel. But yeah, no podcast next week. Or I'm not gonna say no podcast next week, because I really want a podcast. I really want to get some reviews out, especially music reviews. It will probably be in the afternoon, the late afternoon after Lady Tiz's show. So we'll see. I'll keep y'all updated. And then and then speaking of which, for those who have subscribed to my new podcast, I mean not my new podcast, my new channel, Shed Yourself Vlogs. I appreciate it. I thank y'all. I think I'm at 13 subscribers now, which I appreciate. Starting a new channel from scratch is hard, it's scary, it's weird, because I've been vlogging and YouTube and posting videos on YouTube ever since freshman year of college. So it's kind of weird, especially with this new YouTube. It's weird starting a brand new channel from scratch all over again after all these years. Since what? When did I start school? 2008, 2009 ish. It's weird. Like I had to send a video through to Google verifying that I am me in order to my second channel to go live. As some people were having issues finding that channel when I first told y'all I was making it. So I appreciate y'all support. I appreciate y'all for subscribing, and I've already posted 2 videos up on there. Episode 1 and 2 is already up. Episode 1 was me explaining the channel and the reason for me making a second channel and my why. And then the second video is part 1 of my Disney trip, recapping the Food and Wine Festival from the perspective of someone who has a meat and dairy allergy, and how successful that was. Taking that trip with my family and not being restricted or limited. I mean, I was limited, but not being restricted from participating in a tradition that I've been doing for years, since 2009, going to the Food and Wine Festival, and having this new allergy and having to adjust my lifestyle with it. So I hope y'all check those two videos out, and I appreciate those who have watched it so far. Like Don D, he's already watched it. Candy, I appreciate y'all for support. I'm pretty sure Bosa have seen it. I appreciate and love y'all. And speaking of which, um, oh, thank you, Don Dizzle. Thank you for posting the link. Y'all are y'all are the real MVPs. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Dundee, leave my Wi-Fi alone. Look, we working on it. uh, no, I don't have no new connection yet. We still working on that. That's why I'm at the coffee shop doing this podcast. I always have to come to the coffee shop do this podcast because my Wi-Fi is shit. But I'm glad y'all can see that the picture quality is better. And this camera was just $50. Actually, it was like it went down. I think the original price was like 60 something after taxes, and it was like 45. So look, Jay, beanies are coming soon, as well as snapbacks. I just ordered snapbacks for Bomb Projects because KG and D blessed me with two free snakes. And KG asked about my snapback with the same logo, and so I just ordered theirs. But I'm also gonna get the beanie made. And so Jay, I got you. You're the first one on the list. I'll be sending these hats out to people who have been supporting me since day one. Thank you, Ken. I appreciate it. But yes, the reason the merch the y'all know my up and down with the merch store, but I've been getting my hats custom made through Etsy. There's this company that make orders on hats like beanies and snapbacks and stuff like that through Etsy, and I and it's a woman. She does great, and I like supporting her. I like supporting small businesses. So the beanies are coming in, the snapbacks are coming in. Ken, I got you. I got y'all. I got the people who's been supporting me since day one, like Lady Tears, like Keys, like all y'all. Our WO crew, the usual suspects, the V Unit, Wiz Tank Clan, of course my crew, the Wild Bunch, my podcast family. I got y'all. I got y'all. I just got to do a bulk order. Uh, and because it's a small business and it's like one woman doing all the work, it takes time to do the bulk orders. But I got y'all. Um, but yeah, thank y'all. So, one thing I want to start doing, which will lead into the discussion of topics of the day, is I'm in grad school to be a teacher, and my professor starts our class off doing yays, nays, and hip hip hoorays. That's how we start our days off, where everybody shares their yay, something good that happened that week, their nay, something that they're not so happy with that week, and their hip hip hooray, something that they look forward to in the future. And so I want to start my podcast off doing that. And so we will start with the yay, which is topic number one, my Walt Disney World recap. So I still want y'all to check out the vlog um, on my second channel, but I just want to give y'all cliff notes of the trip because it was a great trip. It was an amazing trip and a good vacation. Only 3 days. Usually when I go to Florida and I travel to Florida, it's so expensive that me and my family were like, we're gonna stay a week. We're gonna make the most of it. But this was literally a short trip. Like we arrived on Friday night and we left bright and early Monday morning, like the crack of dawn. Like I had to get up at like 4 a.m. So it was a really, really short trip, but it was great. And we went to celebrate my sister's birthday, and and we the main goal was to do the Epcot Food and Wine Festival, and so we went there Saturday. It was the last day of the festival, actually. So we made it just in time, and then it was great. great. Had a wonderful time. Y'all will see the vlog on my second channel. Um, but it was interesting after all these years to go there and eat with a dietary restriction. I really didn't think I was going to find any food or wine that I could enjoy with this dairy and meat allergy. But shout out to Disney. They had a lot of options for vegans, vegetarian, gluten-free people. And it was great. It was a great time. It was amazing. And then Sunday, the next day, my sisters went to Universal Studios while I relaxed did um and did some hotel hopping. One thing about Disney is that they got free shuttles to and from their hotels and their theme parks. So I just went around and did what I do best, take pictures. They had all their Christmas decorations up, Christmas trees everywhere. All the hotels were decked out, all the theme parks were decked out. So I just walked around and took pictures on Sunday, and it was very relaxing. Um, and it was a good time. I really enjoyed being back at my second home. Um, Orlando, and it was a blast. It was a blast, and but I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be back with my snakes and my animals. And so I will say that is my yay. Going on vacation, having a good time, and and just enjoying vacation. And I ain't gonna lie, I didn't mind drinking that Florida water again. It's been years since I had that nasty ass tap water, but we did it. I did it, and it was fun. Let's see. I'm missing the chat for life. Y'all are crazy. I'm trying to catch up with the chats. Oh yeah, yeah. uh, what's up, Justin? Pressure P. Pressure P, what up? Thanks for tapping in. Oh, we about to get on that. We about to get in on that topic in just a second. Because like I said, I'm gonna be doing this podcast, sharing my yays, things I love, my nays, things I don't love, and my hip hip hoorays, which is things I look forward to in the future. And we about to get on that topic in just a second. Y'all crazy. Y'all are crazy. Oh shoot. Oh yeah, you're right. Y'all, this I keep forgetting on YouTube, you gotta make people blue. I got you. I got you, pressure. Hold on. I'm about to smurf you. All right. Justin, you should be blue now. Oh, Brian too. My bad. My bad. I am behind on making people blue. So everybody should be blue by now. It's tapped in. Brian, Jay. There. My people should be blue. All right. So let's get into the main topic, which is my nay. And honestly, y'all, when I went, I was planning on reviewing some movies and some music today, like 2 Chainz and Lil Wayne dropped an album. Andre 3000 dropped a album of just straight instrumentals, like flute music that I wanted to talk about. Um, and then of course we had new movies like Disney's Wish and the Marvels, and there's this horror film called Thanksgiving. It's a lot of movies that's out that some I've saw and some I haven't seen yet, but I wanted to talk about. Um, but this past week, I mean these past couple of days, um, there have been some things happen that inspired me to pivot my topics. Instead of doing reviews, talk about what everybody is so uh not coming at me, but like, don't hate us, like like Justin and Keys, like, hey, why you don't hate ball python breeders? There are some things that's happened that makes it hard for me to love most ball python breeders. I think I just made them blue, Ken. You know, I'm behind in the chats. But thank y'all, thank y'all. Yes, yes. I listened to that album while when I was at Disney. I was walking around taking pictures at their hotels, and theme parks, taking pictures of their Christmas stuff. And I decided to listen to the Andre 3000 album. And when I tell you, I'm not gonna tell you whether I loved it or hate it. I would say it's very meditative and very zen. Um, and it was a good time. It was a good time. Alexandra, what's up? The other half of Pressure Pythons. Let me turn you blue because I know you're not blue. Make sure you're blue too. What up, y'all? All right. You're now part of the Blue Crew on this podcast. Gotcha. All right. So, without further ado, let's get to my nay of the week. Will the real ball python haters please stand up? And I will give this disclaimer. Everybody that's in the chats, this conversation ain't got nothing to do with y'all. If it don't apply to you, let it fly. Um, and don't get offended by anything I say on this podcast, those in the chats, because this has nothing to do with y'all. This has more to do with people who are constantly getting a platform and constantly getting notoriety and constantly being interviewed. And the more you hear them talk, the more you realize that they don't like these snakes. They don't like these snakes. They just like the money and the idea of making money off these snakes. Kind of like those dog breeders, mainly like the pit bull breeders, the dog breeders who they see the money in it, or the dog breeders who breed those little tiny monstrosity of weird bred mixed dogs that should never be bred together, but they just see those dollar signs, and they really don't like the dogs. You can tell how they speak about them, how they treat them, how they act, how they that they really just don't like the dogs, that they don't like dogs in general, but they like the money aspect of it. That's how I see a lot of these ball python breeders who are constantly being interviewed on these podcasts and constantly trying to promote themselves and promote their business and talk about their legacies, and oh, this person made this snake famous, or this person made that snake famous, or that person is known for these particular genes or working with this particular project. And the more they talk, the more you realize that they really hate these animals. And even on the episode or podcast in particular, and I will say this because I don't want nobody to get my message misconstrued. Um, I have nothing against MJ. I love MJ. MJ is cool people. He's been good to me. You know, some people can't stand him, some people love him, some people think that he is monopolizing YouTube, and there's an argument to be made by that. But I will say he has been nice and cordial and good to me, so I'm not going to bash him. But I will say um, he do bring on people in the hobby. Um, I just feel like should not even be in relevance or should not get his platform, in my opinion, i.e., the weird, awkward dude from this week's past episode. Um, AK, I don't even remember the guy's name, but he he just gives me the wrong impression. I don't like him. Um, his guest, whoever that dude is, but uh red flag number one with that particular guy and that particular guest is, and it's not just him. There are breeders like him who do the same things. Breeders that are well respected in the game. Breeders who are revered, loved in the game. Who There are practices that has been done to the reptile hobby, practices that the OGs, including people that I love, has done that I don't agree with, and that is power feeding. And one thing this dude said on MJ's podcast, and again, this my rant has nothing against MJ, it has everything against the guests that he had on. Um, the guy almost bragged. It sounded like he was bragging that he was able to get a male ball python to breed at, after what, 90 days, after 3 months. Now, off the bat, I call cap. I don't think that ever happened. But if it did happen and you really did hatch a ball python out, fed it to where it became breeder size in just 90 days and bred for you and gave you a clutch of eggs, if that did happen, I call that animal abuse, because what the hell? Why? That's literally like giving birth to a kid and then trying to breed said kid at 5 years old or something. Like, why are we rushing these animals? Why are we rushing these animals to breed? Why are y'all in that big of a hurry? That can't be good on that snake's, if it really happens. I feel like it's cap, and I feel like he was lying and bragging and just saying some bullshit to sound cool. I don't think that really happened, but let's just say it did happen. Let's say he's telling the complete truth, and he really did breed a ball python, a male ball python, at 90 days old. That's 3 months. That can't be good on that snake's body and that snake's health. Like, I'm just trying to imagine a 3 month old ball python getting big enough to breed. I, that's like literally having a 6 month old puppy, not even 6 months. Let's equate it to dog breeding. You breed, you get a puppy. The minute that puppy opens his eyes and wean off his mama's milk, you're trying to breed it. That's the same equivalence in my head when I heard him say that. And I think and I love and agree with MJ for calling him out on that, like calling Cap. Even MJ said, I don't know, bro. I call Cap. Like, that was the first thing that came out of his mouth. And I was like, yes, thank you for pushing back on that. But this guy swore up and down. He did it. He swore up and down. No, I bred him in 90 days. I bred him in 90 days after hatching. That has to be a form of animal abuse. That snake's organs isn't fully developed yet, let alone sperm plugs. Like, that ain't nothing to brag about. That is animal abuse in my eyes. And the irony of a lot of these breeders, the irony of a lot of these breeders, when you hear their origin stories, like how did you get into ball pythons, or how did you get into reptile hobby? Um, they always say, "Oh, I grew up watching Steve Irwin. I loved Steve Irwin growing up. He was my hero." Y'all, Steve Irwin was my hero too. He was my hero to the point to where I studied that man left, right, and sideways, including the history of his zoo, the history of zoology, all this stuff. And I, I, I can tell you right now that if Steve Irwin was still alive, he would hate y'all too. He would hate all ball python breeders. He would hate snake breeders in general, especially the Australian species of snakes that y'all been trying to sneak in and smuggle in America to breed. He would literally hate y'all because he did not believe in reptiles being in captivity. And he definitely didn't believe in reptiles being bred like puppy mills and bred for the pet trade. Like, y'all are giving us a bad name. Y'all are giving animal lovers a bad name. Y'all are It's just the irony of you saying he's your hero. He would have hated y'all. He would have hated all of us, and me included, because now I'm breeding snakes. Like, he didn't believe in that shit. He was a zoologist and a conservationist through and through. He spoke that shit. He lived that shit. He breathed that shit. But I digress. Let's get back to this lame ass loser motherfucker and all breeders who are like him. Um, that was red flag number one that kind of threw me off when I was watching that episode, that live. And then here's another thing that I'm so sick and tired of from across the board. And this is why I go so hard on DG and shit like that. Like, really, y'all, and quite honestly, quite honestly, I really don't hate DG like that. I mean, I don't like my snakes looking ashy. I don't. But I'm not as passionate about my hatred for the DG gene as I portray online. Because at the end of the day, ball pythons are ball pythons, and I love ball pythons. And if it's alive, I'd rather it stay alive. But the reason why I go so hard and shitting on it, because I'm so sick of everybody shitting on anything that looks normal looking or close to normal looking, or like this whole, it needs to look pretty as an adult. Oh, that snake's gonna brown out. Oh, that snake's gonna dull out. Oh, this. And it's like, motherfucker, why, why does an age of a snake, the look of a snake, the aesthetic of a snake really matter? Like, at the end of the day, every animal changes. It will never look like it did as a baby, just like humans, just like dogs, just like cats. They will never look the way they look as a baby. Point blank, period. But they are so hell bent on, oh my gosh, we hate this gene because it browns out as an adult. Well, motherfucker, if you go to Africa, it's gonna be a lot of brown fucking snakes. A lot of brown fucking snakes. You and I go see Orange Dream, Dream Crush, Blue Eyed, motherfucker. You're not gonna see the ashy snakes in a while. We mutated them into that. We line bred them into that. We fucked up these snakes into looking the way they looked. At all, again, Steve Irwin would hate us. Like, we fucked these animals up, and now you're like, I don't want it to look remotely like what it did in the wild. Like, it's just weird. It's just weird that now I get people hating snakes. I know I get hearing negative things about ball pythons from people who don't know them, from non-reptile people, from non-snake people. Hell, I'll even get and understand ball python slander from people who only work with other species like the colubrids or the retics or stuff like that. But when it's your own, when it's the people who are breeding, it's the people who are feeding and caring, and I won't even say caring because it sounds like they don't even interact with these snakes. It sounds like they do the bare minimum when it comes to these snakes. They don't. They probably don't even let them out for enrichments. And I'm not just talking about the big, huge Canova type. I'm talking about the small breeders who still going to these repticons, these local repticons. All these motherfuckers, I feel like they just see the dollar signs. They see the Canovas. They see the Aussies. They see the Miguels. They see their houses and their car collections and all this other stuff. And they like, I want that. That's their only motivation and drive to even buy a ball python. And that's another thing that this loser on MJ's show the other night said. He said, "Oh, no matter what, I will always own a snake. It may not be a ball python, but if push come to shove, if I was to lose everything and I would still own a reptile, I'll still own a reptile, but it won't be a ball python." Then why are you working with ball pythons? Why are you just breeding ball pythons? If you think ball pythons is such a boring snake, if you think are not even worth you keeping, even if you weren't breeding them, then why the fuck are you working with them? Why the fuck are you breeding them? If you like retics more than ball pythons, then work with that. If you like boas more than ball pythons, then work with that. If you like blood pythons, short tails, Borneos more than you like ball pythons, then how come you're not known for breeding that? Is it because you can't? Is it because you can't afford those type of snakes? Is it because you tried and failed? Like the I will say this time and time again, the biggest ball python haters are the people who breed them. And those are the ones I hate. When I say I hate ball python breeders, like in my clickbait title, that's who I'm talking to. I'm not talking to the people in the chat. I'm talking to those motherfuckers. The ones who are constantly getting this platform, the ones who are constantly getting their dick sucked at these reptile shows, the ones who are constantly getting the limelight. These motherfuckers do not like ball. If I could, and this is not just on MJ's channel, this is a lot of people. Shout out to, I love Big Mike. I love it. Will always support Big Mike. Shout out to Big Mike from Her Collectors. Shout out to Keys. I love Keys. Keys my brother, my sister, and Keisha's my sister. I love y'all, and I will always rock with y'all. But everybody has had guests on their show that are just like this motherfucker that I'm talking about. This particular, like, why are we giving these people a platform? They don't. It's clear as day that they do not like ball pythons. I wish that everybody who interviews these type of breeders, the first question should be, if you're not breeding ball pythons, would you own one? That should be the very first question. I wish everybody would ask these folks in their interviews. If you are not breeding ball pythons, would you own one as a pet? And if the answer is no, then hey, I know not to ever fuck with you. Like, it's just, I'm not gonna lie. I was about to say a lot of foul, horrible things about ball python breeders on this show, and after, thank God, I slept on it and allowed myself 2 days to cool down. Cause woo, I was gonna be ruthless. I was about to burn some bridges up in this one, but I've calmed down so much, and I'm so zen right now that it's like I'm chill. I'm good. I'm good. I'm not even mad. I just, at the end of the day, push come to shove, if the laws were to change, or if the laws were to change, or if something were to happen, a tragedy were to happen, and I just could not afford owning snakes ever again. As much as I love my blood of Avicii, as much as I love Jimmy, my boa, as much as I love Morticia, as much as I love, I even love Hades' crazy ass. Everybody can go, but you know who's staying? I could be homeless in the street, in a shelter. You know who's staying? I just don't talk the talk. I walk the walk. I'm about this life. I'm about this ball python life. I could lose it all. I could lose my sight, my hearing, my legs, anything. But you best believe Jafar staying at the house. And if he passed away, you best believe another ball python is coming. Like, and people who say they're pet rocks, they're boring. You don't interact with them. You don't interact with them. You don't even get a chance to know their personalities. Because if you did, you wouldn't be saying this shit. You wouldn't be perpetuating this lie, this myth of pet rocks. Because I can tell you right now, Jimmy, I love Jimmy. Amazing boa constrictor, the best boa constrictor in the world. That fool sits still in his cage more than the ball pythons. I come in the house, my ball pythons are like, hey, what's going on? Well, what we doing? You gonna open up? You gonna let me out? Jimmy, he be in that same motherfucking spot on his heat map, just chilling. He might move around a little bit, but or he might get active once I open the cage door and let him out when I'm cleaning stuff. But my boas are more pet rocks than the pet rocks y'all claim and ball pythons are. Like, I just, the biggest ball python haters are the people who breed them. Like I can't even joke. I can't even joke about throwing them in a freezer with these breeders. Oh, that's cobra food. Oh, there's breeder food. Oh, I got a normal. Oh, I got a spider. That's cobra food. That's king snake food. Oh, oh shit! I didn't beat the odds. I just got a bunch of hits. Oh, oh my gosh, it's brown. It's gonna brown out. Oh, that's gonna be looking ugly as an adult. Man, shut the fuck up. Stop breeding ball pythons. If you don't want a brown snake, then go. I don't know. I don't know. Go do something else. And I get it, I get it. And then people will come back and say, "Oh, Elias, there's levels to this." You know, some people have to make a business. Some people try to make a life. Some people trying. There's levels to this. There are high quality and low quality. Like, oh, I'm so tired of hearing that high quality ball pythons, low quality ball pythons. Like, I've seen Justin's $10,000, $15,000 snakes. I was at Tinley when he premiered those snakes, and he showed them off. Guess what? Those snakes shit and poop and eat the same way a normal ball python will. Like I just don't understand this whole high quality, low quality, yada. Y'all, this isn't a clothing company. This isn't like Nike versus Adidas. This isn't like Harley Davidson versus Ford. These isn't like Yeezy shoes versus the Walmart brand. Like these are living animals, y'all. These are living animals. This is why I hate ball python breeders, because y'all forget that these are living animals. The fact that you gotta raise other animals to feed your animals, you just can't go to a Walmart and buy a bag of dry food for them. You gotta actually breed some shit in order to feed the shit. Like imagine, I mean, I'm pretty sure, I mean, I'm not a religious person, and I mean, I'm borderline atheist. I say I'm agnostic because I don't know. So I'm not going to definitively say God doesn't exist. But just imagine, I just wonder, is God up in heaven and say, ooh, I really don't like that human being. They might brown out as an adult. Like, oh shit, I didn't beat the odds when I created that. But that's what we're doing. We're playing God, breeding these animals. And just imagine God in heaven, like, ooh, that one's born with red hair. Oh shit, I messed up on that. Ooh, that one born with freckles. Oh shit, I fucked up on that one. Like, just imagine y'all, because a lot of y'all do believe in God. A lot of y'all are religious. Just imagine him up in heaven just saying that, like, ooh, that one's gonna look fucked up as an adult. Like, oh shit, that's gonna, like, oh man, I did not hit that. I did not hit that all gener. I did not hit that OBGYN. I did not hit that X, Y, and Z. Oh, I created DGA and got out of DGC. I guess that's Cobra food. Like, y'all see how dumb that sounds? And that's how y'all sound. That's how y'all sound. Dumb as hell. Dumb as fuck. Just imagine your creator or who you believe is your creator did that to you. Which he probably is. I'm pretty sure God is up in heaven like, damn, I fucked up with humans. Because we destroy everything. We ruin everything. We invented the whole racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia, all these phobias. Like we invented that. Human beings invented that. I'm pretty sure guys up in heaven like, damn, I fucked up with that. I did good with the lions, tigers, and bears. I fucked up with the humans. I don't know. I don't know. Damn, I'm behind in the chest. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Oh, I just had to get this shit out off my chest. Whew. Let me hear what y'all gotta say. Whether you agree with me or not, let me hear what y'all gotta say. Let's see. As a podcaster, it gets on nerves. You try to be nice to everyone, but some people, this hobby gets jealous when you succeed and they try to grab. Yeah, yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, yeah, Ken, I agree. Yeah. Yeah, Brian, that's my dog too. I ain't gonna lie. Like, love him or like I said, my beef and rant was not against MJ at all. But it was the guest. It was the guest that triggered me the other night when I watched that show, because I was like, God damn, why does this motherfucker got an interview? Like, why are we interviewing him? What is he known for? I don't even care if he is a legend. I don't care if he did work with some of the OG breeders back in the day. I don't care if he created the world first. I don't care if that motherfucker created pies, which he did. But I'm just saying, as an example, like, why are we even listening to him? Like Pete Call. Pete Call is a legend. Why were we listening to him though? Because we didn't learn shit from their podcast that became a controversy. We didn't learn not one damn thing. So why did he get a platform? Yeah, yep, I agree. I agree. Let's see, speak on our lives. There's so many out there that, yeah, exactly. Like, and some of these same guys, some of these same breeders are laughing and shitting on people who are getting out the hobby. To be honest, I respect the people who realize that the hobby isn't for them, that snake breeding isn't for them. They probably were fed a dream that they thought was gonna, come to fruition, but then the economy happened, then the crash happened, COVID, and now they're getting out because they realize, hey, I got 200, 300, 400 snakes, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to feed them all, plus the rats and all this other stuff. So let me just bow out, sell my collection, and go. You know what? I respect those who are honest about their shit and got out. I just wish some of these breeders with the big names who we know do not like these snakes, do not care about these snakes, and only care about downside. I wish they would get out. I wish they would get out the hobby because I'm sick of them. We don't need them to keep spreading all this fuck shit and negative press on ball pythons. Like, how are you going on a podcast bragging about your success, bragging about how great you are as a breeder, but you hate your products? I've never met a drug dealer who shitted on his drugs that he sold. I've never met a fashion icon, a fashion designer, a fashion mogul shit on the outfits that they created. Just imagine it. Just imagine it. If Coco Chanel or whoever invented that shit just came out and said, man, that perfume sucks. Man. Or imagine the people who invented Coach bags. So it's like, man, that's a shitty purse. That's a shitty shoe. Man, I hate making leather backpacks. I hate making leather belts. Then, like, you just don't hear that shit. Why shit on the product you're selling? You're trying to convince me to buy from you, but you're shitting on your products. Those are the breeders that I can't stand. And that's what gets me pissed off. But still, even if he's lying, that's even weirder that he acts. Exactly. That is psychotic. I don't care what, I don't care what, just because it can happen, just because a snake can breed young, just like a dog, just because a dog can start breeding at 6 months to a year old, does not mean it should. Because again, humans, we can start breeding. I was in elementary school, and I remember the first time I ever heard of a child giving birth. It was an abuse victim. She was abused, and she got pregnant from that abuse at, I want to say we were 11 years old. Just because scientifically we can breed at 11 years old does not mean we should. That is psychotic to me. And we can apply that to humans, but we can apply that to animals too. Just because scientifically it can happen does not mean it should. That's not something to brag about. Oh, I got a snake to breed at 9 week month. I mean at 3 months old. RIP to that snake, because it's not gonna live its maximum years. One thing I learned since being raising boas and caring for boas and talking to different people who are like my mentors, because I have other mentors, not just Mutation Station. I have other mentors who have snakes from different species, like boa constrictors. And one thing I've learned is that a lot of these breeder boas don't live past 10 because of overfeeding, because of power feeding, because you're trying to get them to fuck at a year old. and you're trying to get them to breed and give birth, and they give live birth. They give birth to like 20, 30 babies at a time, like retics sometimes, depending on, you know, how big the mama can get. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of them give birth to slugs. They have a lot of stillborns because they weren't meant to breed that early, or they weren't meant to beef up to that big giant size that early. My boy Jimmy is 16 years old. He is 16. I wonder how many of his clutch mates, how many of his siblings are still alive today. Because I'm pretty sure they were sent to other breeders, and those breeders beefed them up and fattened them up so they can breed in a year or two. How many of their hearts failed before they were 8 years old? And it was a podcast I watched not too long ago, this year. I don't know if it was MJ's podcast or another person's podcast, but they interviewed a boa breeder. Yeah, because I had reposted it on my Instagram. I reposted on my Instagram a screenshot of that. And that boa breeder he admitted it was a different podcast. It wasn't MJ or somebody else, but they admitted to where a lot of their breeder males, a lot of their breeder females died by the age of 6. Died between the ages of 6 and 8. And then once he realized that power feeding was not the answer, and he stopped doing that, and he started letting his snakes grow to maturity before he bred, that's when they started living longer. And that's boa constrictor. So imagine how fucked up we are with these ball pythons. I'm not an expert and I haven't looked into it, but I can't imagine a 3-month-old is sexually mature enough to breed. Thank you. Yes. They can't even produce. Yes, exactly. That's why I call it cap. I think he's lying. I think that was all for show because he was on a podcast and he was just trying to show out. But if he's telling the truth, that's animal abuse. And that can nobody convince me otherwise. Can't nobody convince me otherwise. And he's the scum of the earth. And I took a screenshot of his name and his company because he is on that long list of breeders that I would never buy from, never support. I don't care how big, famous, or how well known he is to the reptile community. Fuck that nigga. I hate people like him. Like it only took that one interview for me to hate that motherfucker. Like I'm never. I have a list of people, mainly because they were transphobic and they post some stupid shit on Instagram. But I have a list of people that I will never buy from, and he just got added to that list. That motherfucker. So when I see your logo, and you can rearrange your logo, if I go to a reptile show, if I go to a Tinley or another NARBC, or if I go to Daytona next year and I see your booth, it's gonna be a fuck you, keep walking. If I was to browse Morph Market, even though I don't shop on Morph Market unless it's someone I personally know, like Mike from Her Collectors, and I only use Morph Market to review him and give him a positive review. I didn't use it for the purchase. I went through Instagram for the purchase. Guess what? Even if I stroll through Morph Market, if I see your name, I am blocking that from my feed. I don't want to see no snakes you produce, because that's animal abuse through and through in my eyes. And even though I did have one baby not survive, um, my first clutch, I think for my very first clutch with a very first father and a very first mother became so successful with these 3 babies because of the maturity. Because Coils was 13 years old. Well, she is 13 years old, and I was. I think because she was allowed to grow, she was healthy from the very beginning because I always took care of her. I never overfed her. I never overpowered her. I think a lot of the success of my first clutch, and why some people have first time moms and first time clutches fail or have slugs or have small clutches or whatever, is because they are rushing these snakes to breed. It's like I have to breed at 2 years old. I have to breed at 3 years old. I have to breed exactly at 1,000 grams. So let me hurry up and shove these rats down their throats to get them at 1,000 grams. I don't care if they have heart failure later on in life. Let me hurry up and get them to 1,000 grams. Let me hurry up and get these males to 600 and 500 as quickly as possible. I think that's why a lot of people have issues with these babies. A lot of these, and honestly, I'm no expert, I'm no scientist, but I think a lot of these mutations have fucked up issues like the spiders and all this other stuff, anything like that, because of one, inbreeding. Because let's talk about it. Dogs, cats, everybody do inbreeding, and they call it line breeding, but inbreeding in animals. I think a lot of health issues come from that, and because y'all won't let the animals mature. Y'all will not let these animals grow the fuck up. Y'all are trying to rush and make babies have babies because you ready to have that almighty dollar. You can't wait to have that table at 10. You can't wait to have that table and that booth at the Repticons and the NARPCs. And you can't wait to post that you made XYZ, that you were the first person to create the fucking stormtrooper or yada, 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 or this or that or that, that. And you won't let these snakes grow up. A lot of these animals have issues genetically because of us. You don't want a snake to brown out. And you want to do everything you can to make sure it doesn't brown out, but that snake got bug eyes or a cleft lip or certain genes just, if you breed them to another, oh, it's a death wish on them and the mother. Like, and now Morph Market and all these other websites have to put warning labels like this that can't breed with that can't breed with that can't breed with that. Yeah, because we fucked them up. You ain't gonna hear normal ball pythons in the wild not having successful clutches, not because of genetics, just because of life. You know, they might have predators, might be weather, might be seasonally, but I doubt if you go out in the wild Africa, you're gonna have all these issues with those snakes. Because I'm be honest, I want to see how the breeders up in Africa, the breeders in Africa who work with these snakes, I wonder how successful they are compared to us. Because 9 times out of 10, they probably just waiting for the snakes to do the, I'll say this. I would trust an imported ball python from the wild before I trust some of y'all here in America that's captive bred. I'll take a tick or flea field snake from the wild before I take one of y'all power fed snakes here. Y'all snakes that, the fact that you gotta retire a snake from breeding by the time she's 5 years old is astounding to me. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Oh yeah, I understood what you were saying, Brian. Yeah, no worry, man. My brother didn't like snakes till this weekend. I have him working one and one now. I, that's what I'm talking about, Ken. That's what I'm talking about. Getting people to love these snakes. And I'm not surprised, 403. I am not surprised. Power feeding males is well documented by Mike Wheelbanks. And y'all, not y'all. When I say y'all, I'm not talking about the people in the chat. So please, again, if it does not apply, let it fly. Don't get offended by what I'm saying. But I'm saying as a community, the reptile breeding community, the ball python community, y'all be riding Mike Wheelbanks' dick. Y'all be riding a lot of these big name breeders' dick. And I just, maybe it's just a generational thing. Cause when I hear about these legends, I don't, and I hear their stories, whether they tell us or someone else tell them, I don't see them as heroes. I see them as fucked up people. Honestly, for the most part, like people like, oh my gosh, like don't get me wrong, I love Kevin McCurley. Don't misconstrue this. I love Kevin McCurley. However, I can look at certain things and hear certain stories from his mouth and other people's mouths, that he might have done in the past when it came to breeding snakes, not just ball pythons, but other snakes. And I can say, oh my gosh, that shit's fucked up. I'm not gonna say, oh my gosh, that's so cool, you did that. I'm like, damn, that was fucked up. What's another old school breeder? I'm trying to think in my head. Another old school. There are a couple of old school breeders where I hear either them themselves in interviews. Bob Clark, great example. He's been in a lot of interviews, maybe not a lot, but I've watched a lot of interviews. And there's some stuff that he says, and I'm like, okay, I can take some of that information for myself and apply it later. I could take that, apply it later. Oh, I did not know that. There are a lot of old school breeders where you come to find out that they have done some good things and they have discovered some good things, and I agree. But then there are times where they're talking, and I'm like, oh, you're an asshole. You did that? Ah, you're fucked up. Oh, you did that? And it's like, some of y'all listen to these old school breeders, and because they're old school, because they created the world's first, y'all take their word as gospel, and that's what I don't like. Stop taking these people word as gospel. You could take some gems, you could take some, information that they've learned over the years of breeding. I'm not saying that everything they say is a lie or bullshit. I'm just saying, have some discernment. We don't have enough people using their critical thinking, using their brains, and using discernment. Have some discernment. There are some things that some gems you can take, some information you can take to learn from, and some things just let it fly out the window. Like, I'm not going to listen to you. I'm not going to listen. Because I've had some people recommend some things to me, and I'm just listening to them. They're like, hey, you should try this with your snake. And I'm like, no, that sounds abusive. That sounds inhumane. That sounds crazy. Like, I'm not in that big of a hurry to get eggs. I'm not. I'm not that big of a hurry to get, like, I want a super black head. Not just super black head. There are other genes in it, but I've seen examples of super black head that I love. And I can't wait to create that for myself. I can't wait to create certain dark genes, because y'all know I'm Project Dark Mode. I'm dark mode everything. I can't wait. Like, I tell everybody, I didn't call, I DMKG, and I am on the waiting list for LC Black Magic. It might take some years. I might not get it this year. I might not get it next year. But one day I am going to own an LC Black Magic, and I can't wait to breed and create my own super LC Black Magics in the future. That's probably a 5-10 year goal from now. But I'm not that in a big of a hurry. I'm not going to rush. If I ever, I'm not going to say if, I am. I'm speaking it into existence. I don't care if I got to take out a loan from the bank. I'm speaking into existence. I am going to own an LC Black Magic snake in the future one day. But guess what? When I do, I'm not going to force feed it. I'm not going to cut that snake's life short. I'm not going to force it to breed at 9 months, 10 months. I don't care what the OG breeders say. Like, oh, you can actually breed it, at 500 grams. I don't care. I will wait 4 or 5 years. I don't care. I don't care if I'm not rushing to kill these snakes just to create other snakes. I'm not rushing to cut their life short just to make some money. Or I love these snakes. I love ball pythons for what they are. And they weren't even the first snakes I was introduced to. I was introduced into this hobby with the Burmese python. Some people say, oh, the ball python was the first snake I was ever introduced. I don't have that story. I was introduced to the big boys. I was introduced to the boas and the Burmeses first. Those were the first snakes I ever held in my hands for the first time. But I will always advocate and defend and stick up for the ball pythons, because it seemed like nobody loves them at all. Nobody cares about them. They just like the dollar signs and the possibility of the dollar signs because of them. And that's what pisses me off. Oh, that's what's up. Like, that just pisses me off. These are living creatures. These are living creatures. These aren't shoes. These aren't t-shirts. Like, there's so much, and that's another thing. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the dude who I've been shitting on and ranting about, he did call out one of my comments because I did comment on MJ's podcast in the comments, and he called it out, and I'm not offended that he called it out, but because I said, I can't remember what all I said verbatim, but I was just like, I'm pretty much, I was saying I'm sick of y'all feeding us this pretty adult bullshit. That's basically why I say I'm sick of y'all shoving this pretty adult bullshit down our throats, because every podcast, that's all I hear. Every forum, that's all I hear. Every group chat on Instagram, that's all I hear. It's this pretty adult bullshit that, like, don't breed this snake to this snake because it's gonna be shitty as an adult. Like, I'm so sick of this shit. And that breeder, Mr. I bred a male snake in 3 months, was like, well, if sounded like Ben Shapiro's twin brother, dumbass, talking about some, well, if we didn't like these ball pythons, we wouldn't be breeding them. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Because you could very much well be in this hobby for the money and not give a damn about the said products that you're using. And it's evident because as soon he said that, oh, just if I didn't love these snakes, I wouldn't be in this hobby, I wouldn't be doing it. But then literally 20 minutes later, he said, if I did not, if I wasn't breeding, or if the laws were to change, or if anything were to happen, I will still own, or if I stop breeding if I stop breeding snakes in general, I would still own a snake, but it would not be a ball python. Like, you just proved my point. You just proved my point that you don't give a damn about this species of animals. When you say it, if push come to shove, I will always own one, but it won't be this that I'm breeding, then you don't like them. You just proved my point. You don't like ball pythons. You literally proved my point in the same podcast. Like, this just, yes, I agree. I rather the circle of life than I do it myself. Exactly. Yes. Yes. It's just, whew. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to catch up in the chest. I went on a rampage. Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. Yes. Hey, I will give you any, because I got three boas, and all three have different person. I'm about to get a fourth one for free from my mentor. Shout out Nikki, Asia Station. Um, but I love boas. I'm passionate about boas just as much as I'm passionate about ball pythons. But the difference between boa community and the ball python community is that the boa people, the boa breeders, actually like their snakes, and they don't give a damn. Yes, they like the morphs. Yes, they breed for the Motleys and the IMGs and the call albinos. I don't like, fuck call, but the albinos. So yes, they breed for the red dragons and stuff. But I never heard a boa breeder shit on the normal boas. I never heard a boa breeder talk smack about the brown normal, or that boa's gonna dull out as an adult. That's not gonna be pretty as an adult. Like, I never heard boa breeders talk like that. Like, the normal boas is not being disrespected and called cobra food. Like, but I would gladly help you out when y'all get boas. Just hit me up. I got three boas and I love all three of them, including Hades' mean ass. Yeah, that's true, Smay. By the way, thank you for tapping in. And guess what? Not the goddamn stormtrooper. And guess what? Even though the stormtrooper has not been recreated, sort of say, but it's funny how the one snake that everybody has tried to recreate and tried to reproduce, one of the key ingredients to the stormtrooper is the is the gene that people hate the most, the gene that everybody shits on the most because it's cool to shit on this gene, and that is the pastel. The first stormtrooper was created through a pastel and a VPI. Like, but pastel is the enemy. Oh, pastel and clown, they brown now. First of all, we shouldn't. Every time a new morph come out, people are like, I want to see that in clown. Like when I get the LC Black Magic, I don't want clown to touch that shit. When I get the gorilla soon, because that's another bucket list snake I want to own, the gorilla. Just like the LC Black Magic. When I finally get those snakes into my collections, I don't want it to touch clown. Why does everything has to be touched to clown? Yes, clown is a good recessive. Clown is a dope recessive. I have a clown. I love clown. But just like y'all saying pastel is overrunning the market and taking over the market, and it's way too many on morph market and yada yada yada. I feel that same way about clown. I feel that same way about DG. And it's not pastel's fault that it doesn't mix match with clown. I think it's clown's fault, honestly. Y'all blaming pastel for clown shortcoming. Pastel has been in the hobby for how many years? And look at how many G's pastel are great with, like the VPIs or any Exantic, really, because I've seen some TSK Exantics with pastel. Oh my gosh, that shit is beautiful. I should have invested into some CD TSKs too. I might still do it just to say I own one. Uh, I want a TSK Exantic, may not breed, but I've seen some combos that I'm like, but guess what? The key ingredient that made it look fire, that damn pastel. But because it didn't work with clown, now everybody wants to shit on pastel and say death to pastel and say that pastel needs to be in the freezer. Pastel is not the issue. It was never the issue. It's because y'all keep trying to throw clown on everything. Wiz, what up? Wiz time. Like it's just I will, like I said, for those who are coming into the podcast late, my rant has nothing to do with y'all. And yes, my title was very clickbaity, but I don't hate all ball python breeders. I just hate the culture of ball python breeders. I hate the loud majority of ball python breeders who keep getting a platform, who keep shitting on their products. Again, how are you buying? How are you selling? How are you breeding? How are you investing all this money into a species that you say yourself that you would not own if you wasn't making money off them? That you would never own one as a pet. That there's so many other cool snakes out there. Get you a real snake. Get you this. Why are you having this, and that? Why don't you have a retic? Why don't you have a burn? Why don't you have a king snake? Like, oh, we should diversify our collection. Like, yes, get what you want. If you want a false water cobra, a ball python, a blood, get all that. I'm all for diversifying because I got a diverse collection. However, don't shit on people who just want ball pythons, or don't get on people who just want bloods. I know somebody who only owns bloods. They don't even breed them. They just have different morphs of different bloods because they just like collecting them. They have the Sumatran, they have the regular blood, they have the golden eyes. Like they just like bloods. And you wouldn't dare tell somebody who just own a collection of bloods, oh, you should diversify your collection. Why don't you get a retic? It's only with ball python breeders that get shit on. I mean, ball python keepers, they get shit on. Why do you have so many ball pythons? You need to diversify your collection. You need to have this. You need that. I don't need to do shit. If I want to have a whole garage of nothing but ball pythons and nothing else, that is my prerogative. Talk about you don't learn much about reptiles just through ball pythons. Yes, you motherfucking do. Yes, you do. You just, I don't know. Again, Steve Irwin would hate most of y'all. Pretty much all of y'all if he was still alive, including me too. Steve Irwin, our hero, would hate us because he didn't like this whole snakes in captivity being bred shit. Like, but a lot of y'all don't know that because y'all don't really study your heroes. I'm a big advocate of studying your heroes, and that's why I had to also grieve and come to terms with a lot of heroes I grew up with. probably did not like me if they were still alive. Like growing up as a child, Walt Disney was my hero. Walt Disney was a racist. He probably wouldn't like my black ass, but and I feel like Steve Irwin, man, he would probably support everybody who he probably would be donating to companies that go against USARK. He would not be for USARK at all. Because he did not like the whole animals in captivity shit. He was about that conservation life. He was about that life. If that animal wasn't in a zoo, that animal should be in the wild. Either the zoo or the wild. Can't be none in between. And the more I get into the reptile breeding thing, the more I don't want. I'm not saying I don't want to breed because I still want to breed. I still want to create snakes for my own. But the more I want to be like my mentors and not be a part of the community. Because the more I hear y'all talk shit about ball pythons, I'm like, why do I want to be around you people? Why do I want? Why do I want to make connections with you people? Like, why do I want to be in community with you people? Y'all don't even like the animals you work with. Hey, that's always a good thing when you stop somebody from buying an animal from Petco. Mm. And you know what, Maki? I try to do that whole live and let live thing. Um, and I try to like shout out to Keys and Bosa and other people like that and Lady Tears because they always preach positivity, they always preach community, they always preach family and love. And I try to, not let people's opinions get to me. But I love these animals too much. Like I said, if when I say I love animals more than I love humans, and I've been like that ever since a child. I grew up on a farm. I love animals more than I love humans. If a man was standing on a train track and was about to get run over, and there was a snake right beside him, I would save the snake and leave him be. And I have no shame in saying it. I really have no shame in saying it. I feel like the world needs less humans and more animals. That's just how I feel. And I try to live and let other people's opinions not get to me, but I love these animals way too much. And it's one thing to live and let, and to be all peace, love, and positivity. But when you're shitting on these animals and you making these animals seem so disposable, like they don't matter, then that makes me want to feel like you don't matter. Like there's a lot of breeders that I really wish I could just say your mother should have swallowed. You should not be born. Planned Parenthood exists for a reason. And why didn't your mama use it? Because the world would be better if you're not in it and snakes are. And I have no qualms about that. Not saying all, just certain people, certain individuals. That's what I feel like saying. When they be shitting on ball pythons and they be shitting on any type of snake, any type of animal. Like you so worried about the almighty dollar. Y'all get so mad and pissed off when and that's another thing I hate about the ball python community, and not just them, but other breeders in general, is when y'all shit on pet keepers, shit on people who just buy snakes for pets because all you want is to make snakes, make these $10,000 snakes, and have people like Canova buy them from you. That's your only goal. Again, it's all about the money. It's all about the braggadocious. It's all about the ego. It has nothing to do with these animals. Nothing to do with these animals. All about the ego, all about the fame, all about this. I want to make the world's first. That's why we have the snakes with the same exact genes, but 5 different names to them. I looked up Morph Market or what's that ball pythons 101 encyclopedia website, and it's like het red exanthe got 6 different names because y'all don't even give a damn about the snake itself. All y'all care about is, ooh, I created the world's first, even though it looks just like this snake, even though it looks just like that snake, and they breed the same. And when you create supers, they look the exact same. Like, and then they have these different complexes. Oh, the Bell complex. No matter what, if you breed this to this. You're going to get a white snake with blue eyes. Then why the heck do we have 10 different names for the blue-eyed Lucy? It's the exact same snake. Oh, because these men or women or whoever decided, I want to create a world's first. So I'm going to name this Mojave. Or I want to create a world's first. So I name this Butter. But someone already created that. It's coalescer. No, I think I'm going to stick with Butter. Does it matter? A snake is a snake, y'all. An animal is an animal. And the more we treat them like Nike shoes and less like the living creatures that they are with heartbeats and a brain, the more I just don't want to have shit to do with y'all. Like, again, not the people in the comments, but the community. The community. That's what I'm talking about. And it's hard for me to live and let live when you're shitting on these animals. These are living creatures and we're playing God. And again, imagine if your creator, whoever you believe in, just looked at you and said, oh, I fucked up. You need to go in the freezer. Oh, I created this. And that's going to brown out as an adult. Oh, that's going to be shitty as an adult. That's how we talk about these animals while we're sitting here playing God. That's why no matter what, I pray, no matter what, how many clutches I ever get in the future, how many snakes I ever breed in the future, how many I sell, I never want to become you motherfuckers that think like that with that mentality. I want to always have the mentality of a pet keeper, a mentality of someone who actually loves these animals. I never want this to become a business to where I get tired and burn out and I just want to sell my collection. That is not a goal I want. That is not a goal I want, to force feed an animal to breed by the age of 1 or 2. And if it doesn't breed for me, or if it creates slugs, or if, oh, now I got to sell this female because she's no good. No, or, and I don't even care if somebody take offense to this. I need to sell this male. I need to get rid of this male because he apparently don't like the females that I breed him to. He don't like the females that he don't like snakes. It's like, no, he's young. He needs to mature. Y'all are giving these snakes a timeline. Y'all are rushing them. They know what they doing. Mother Nature's gonna Mother Nature. And if he don't want to breed to no females you giving him, he ain't the problem. It's your impatience. Your impatience is the problem. It's the line breeding, the inbreeding that's the problem. It's the so many generations in captivity that of down the line of you making a baby snake give birth to a baby snake give birth to a baby snake. That's the issue. And then this why I took a break from all the group chats, and shout out to the group chats. I love y'all. To the people who create them. This why I took a break from it, because I'm just tired of hearing people shit on these snakes and like, oh my gosh, this girl's giving, we don't buy this type of snake. Don't buy an adult female because 9 times out of 10 something's wrong with her. She might not breed for you. It's a hit or miss. That may be true, but whose fault is that? Is it the snake's fault or is it our fault? Again, we're rushing these snakes, trying to get them to breed at 1,000 grams, even though it might be 6 months old. We try and get the males to breed, even though he barely shooting out sperm plugs. And even if he is shooting out sperm plugs, he's not mature enough. His instincts ain't kicked in to where, oh, just because you sat him near a female doesn't mean he gonna lock. And then it has nothing to do with him as a snake, him as a creature. He's just not there yet. He's not mature yet, and you guys are rushing them. Again, just because a human can give birth at 11 years old does not mean they are mature enough to do that. Just because a dog could give birth at 6 months old does not mean that they have to do that. There are certain dog breeds you have to take to a vet to give a C-section because we have fucked them up genetically for so many years to the point that they can't even give, and we're rushing them. We're rushing a puppy to give birth to puppies that they are so fucked up that you have to literally make an appointment, go to a vet, and get surgery to have a C-section to get the puppies out, and pray that the mama survive. I just don't understand. I just don't understand. Smay said, if you had to pick 5 YouTubers for beginners to follow, who would they be? I'm be honest, they wouldn't be breeders 9 times out of 10. I'm be honest. I will say number one, and some people hate them because of their success, but they're the most ethical people I trust, and that's Snake Discovery, Ed and Emily. As far as beginners go, if we're talking about Python people, that's gonna be tough because I really don't trust anybody as far as YouTube content for beginners. I mean, yes, like people like um, the usual suspects and Wiz, and because even though we do have fun and we play on our podcast, they do drop some gems and drop some dope information. But as far as like just point blank information to give to people that's streamlined straight, there's not much educational videos nowadays, honestly, as far as beginners with snakes. There's not many because everybody's either doing interviews with other breeders or the sensational shit, or look at my collection, look how many snakes I got. Is there's not many educational videos back in the day, but I would say like it was back in the day, there's not anymore. People have veered away from education and teaching people the bare minimum or the basics of getting these snakes together. But I will say Snake Discovery is one. I will say if you go through some Brian Barczyk's videos, because some of his older videos he do have some education, especially as far as ball pythons and like facts and stuff, like some of his older stuff from back in the day. Um, I will say Lady Tia's Nicole, even though she mainly focuses on retics, she do touch on ball pythons, and her educational videos is amazing. And I highly recommend you be a channel member. Channel being a channel member isn't a lot of money. It's not like Patreon where the minimum of most Patreons are like 25, $30. No, Nicole stuff, if you're a channel member, you get a lot of behind the scenes stuff of education, and I support that. I've learned a lot, even though I don't ever plan on having a retic or breeding retics. Nicole gives out information as far as retic behavior, snake behavior in general, that I really recommend for any new beginner person. I don't care if you have a corn snake, you should watch Nicole's stuff about her retics, and you can apply a lot of that information to your other snakes. She is great for beginners. And giving out that information when it comes to like care and feeding and just other things. I will say Intrepid Exotics, Tim, he's a great one. He's good on education. See, I'm talking more on education when I'm answering your questions, May. Um, Intrepid Exotics, Tim is also great. Let's see. I'm trying to make sure I get Brian Barczyk, Snake Discovery, Nicole, Intrepid Exotics. Um, Kevin McCurley does have good education. I will say Kevin McCurley does have a lot of educational videos. If you skip past all the drama videos that Donnie be in charge of, and you go to like the snakes healthcare, the videos that deals with like stuck shed and things like that, I will say, yes, Kevin McCurley. A lot of nerds, older stuff, his educational stuff. He's very great with that. And I will say, Austin and Billy from Mutation Creation. Austin, um, they've been doing a couple of series, a couple of educational series as far as snake breeding with ball pythons that I do like. As far as teaching you the basics, like how, like they've done a video like how to tell if your snake is ovulating or ready to breed, how to handle suck shit, how to I like their stuff too. So I would, if I had a beginner person who wanted to get into ball pythons, who needed to know certain things about like breeding or care, stuff like that, I don't mind recommending them to people like um Billy and Austin and them and their crew. And then also um what's that man's name from Canada? Oh my gosh. He does a lot of care videos and a lot of oh shoot, what is his name? Um he's a big YouTuber too, who I like. And damn, his name is not Brian. It is not Brian. He used to be a bodybuilder and he's from Canada. Damn, my mind just drew a blank that fast. But I'll just stop at that. I'll stop at that. Oh, Green Room is good too. Yes, yes. Thank you. I had to scroll down the comments. Green Room is a good one too. Um, he's very very good. He's very very good. Um, but it's one dude. Damn, I can't remember. It'll come to me, or it'll come in the comments. I'm so behind on comments, y'all. I'm so sorry. Uh, but I like that question, Smay. Thank you for posing that question and asking. I like that. And yes, oh my gosh, LC Blade Magic with a gorilla. That would be a beautiful black snake. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm sorry. That's what the whole time I was listening to that podcast, I was like, this is a reptile Ben Shapiro. Because that voice got on my nerves. It irked me more than his lie about, oh my gosh, I bred one time I actually bred a male ball python and he was just 3 months old. Like, shut the fuck up. I'm not trying to be spicy. I'm just passionate. I'm just passionate. But if some spice come with it, it come with it. Let's see. I have a lifetime to breed. I'm only 26. Why rush things? I have 17. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Like life is too short. I mean, life is short, but at the same time, we have time. We don't have to kill these animals to get to our goals. We don't have to rush things. What's up, Keisha? Good morning. Good morning. I'm glad you tapped in. uh, oh, I got you, Maki. I'm gonna call. Yeah, I'm gonna hit you up, Maki. I'll hit you up on Facebook Messenger. I got you. What up? What up, y'all? Normal ball python, spider ball python is what started this whole industry. Yes, yes. And again, yes, the spider ball python is imperfect. Yes, the spider ball python got has a wobble. Yes, if you create a super, that's lethal. But whose fault is it? It's not the spider. It's not the snake. It is us playing God and breeding, crossbreeding, mix and matching, generations of generations, forcing all this shit on a snake did not ask for this. But the snake is the bad guy. Like I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting into the VPI game with the dark mode project. I'm still doing dark mode. I got black pastels. I'm doing all dark jeans mainly, but I'm also getting into VPI Xanthic, and there are certain base snakes that I have or I'm getting, and I'm not gonna lie, I got an offer to get a pair, one hit VPI and one VPI, but it has spider in it. And at first I hesitated, like I was like, I don't know, like. And one thing he showed me videos, and he shout out to Ryan Moore Valley. He showed me videos, and that the snake does not, the one with spider does not have a wobble, and the mom doesn't have a wobble. But even then, I had to stop and ask myself, why am I? Because I have a pet spider, ball python. I have a pet spider, Bowie, and I love him to death. And it's like I don't plan on breeding spider to spider. Why am I hesitant to get this snake? And it's because of the fear mongering and the hatred that ball python breeders have threw on the spider, as well as that one lame idiot on YouTube who no longer do YouTube videos anymore, um, who did a whole hit piece on spider balls. It was like, but I love spiders. I love spider ball python. Why am I hesitant to get this female? And I was like, you know what? Fuck that shit. I ain't worried about nobody's opinion. I'm never gonna breed spider to spider. Um, and I love spider VPIs, and I love spider VPI pastels. Like, why am I dictating what I want in my collection based off other people's opinions? So I told her, I messaged him and said, yeah, I want that snake. Like, I'm tired of living and dictating. Like, one thing that irks me to death in these group chats and in general is people, or in the YouTube comments of certain podcasts, people like, what do you think I should breed? What do you think I should buy with this? What do you think? Who cares what people think? What do you like? When you go on Morph Market, or when you go to these shows, or when you go to NARBC, or what catches your eye? What do you love? What did you fall in love with? Don't worry about what other people think. I don't give a damn if folks are sick of pastel. I don't give a damn if everybody and they mama hate pastel. I'ma still rock pastel. I'ma still own pastel. I'm never gonna give up pastel. So I had to catch myself and check myself. Like, why are you afraid of us owning another spider ball python when you have a spider ball python? And the fact that I have proof that this spider ball does not have a wobble makes it even better. Why am I afraid? Because of what other people think? Fuck what other people think. If I know that I'm never gonna breed spider to spider, why am I worried about it? Who cares what the market says? Oh, like, oh, that snake is not gonna cost a lot of money. You're never gonna make money off of it because it has spider in it. I don't give a fuck because I'm not in this for the money. I made more money doing snake photography and snake education. I made more money traveling to these different schools and doing snake education than I would ever, than most of you full-time breeders will ever make. I don't give a damn. I'm not in this for the money. I in it because I love these snakes. I wasn't inspired to breeding because of money. The moment I decided I wanted to breed, and it was April or February, Keys, I can't remember, whichever one, I was the honorary suspect of the month, and I was seeing everybody show off their snakes. The moment I saw that dark ass snake from, I think it's Alex, I forgot his company name, but he showed me that dark ass snake on their screen, and I fell in love with it. And I said, I want to make that. That's when I decided I want to be a breeder. It had nothing to do with money. It had everything to do with how beautiful that fucking snake was. And I was just inspired. I said, I want to make that. It had nothing to do with money. But y'all see Justin Kaboka's house and garage and all this other. Y'all see Ozzy Boy's house and things and cars and stuff. Y'all see Billy from Mutation Creation. Y'all see all these high rollers, and they worked hard. Those men worked hard. They worked to earn their money. They worked to get the things that they deserve, and the benefit from the fruits of their net labor. I'm not hating on them, but when your motivation is what they have, as far as material things and money, it has nothing to do with the actual love of the animal. That's the issue I have. That's the whole. Ugh. And I wish y'all would get off Justin's dick. I love Justin Caboclo. I love Canola. I love him to death. When I met him at Tinley, and he was such the nicest, humble person in the world. I never hate on Justin. And I love that he's just quiet. He sticks to himself. He breathes his animal. He do what he do. But I wish y'all would stop basing y'all life and careers off what he's doing. Like, it kills me when people it kills me when people I'm not going to say no names, but I see in the comments of these podcasts, or I see in the group chats where someone might say something like, "Ooh, I like this snake," or "Ooh, I like this gene," and then someone's like, "Well, that snake doesn't look good. That snake doesn't look right," and then someone else will come and say, "Well, Justin, he said this, or Justin, he created this snake with this gene, and I think that you should go this route because Justin did this and Justin did this." Like, y'all, think for yourself. Justin is not Jesus. He is not Jesus. Think for yourself. Have a mind of your own. Stop waiting to Netflix vlog drop for you. And people crack these jokes all the time. People make these jokes all the time, which is funny, but it's sad. They make these jokes all the time that if Justin was to create a video talking positively about spider ball pythons, the prices of spider ball pythons will go through the roof. And that's true. But it's sad that it has to be that way. It's sad that a lot of y'all can't think for yourselves because you're waiting for Justin to tell you what to breed or what to buy or what to mix up. Like that astounds me that y'all don't have a mind of your own to breed what you want to breed and not what someone tells you to breed. Like, you're just waiting for Netflix to drop and you're hoping, "Ooh, I hope Justin talks about the monsoon. I hope Justin creates a dope monsoon so that people can stop hating on monsoon. I hope that Justin could what's the other one? Sunset. I hope Justin creates a dope sunset so we can prove that sunset is worth something." Like, why are you waiting on Justin? Justin's not Jesus. Justin is not going to save you. Justin is going to breed what he breeds. He's going to live his life. He's going to care for his family, care for his snakes. He don't give a damn what happens to you, but y'all base y'all company on him. That's what kills me. Man, yeah, I agree. That's why I'm trying to go the exact opposite. Like, yes, Justin does work with dark jeans, and he has some great examples of some dark jeans, but everybody is going so light, so orange, so faded or ashy. Shout out to the DG lovers. Everybody's going as bright as they can be. I'm going the exact opposite. I'm trying to go as dark as I can be. One, because I love dark snakes. That's the snakes that got me into wanting to breed. Those are the snakes that got me saying I want to reproduce other snakes. But also because the dark snakes are closer to the normals. I like anything that's closer to the normals. I don't care about brown snakes or snakes browning out. Like, I love the snakes for who they are. The snake is a snake. And y'all so determined to create the perfect light snake that doesn't brown out. Y'all ain't gonna be satisfied till the snake really do look like a ghost. You can't see the motherfucker. You just see teeth and eyes. You're not gonna be, and even then, you're not gonna be satisfied. Marcus Jane, I never heard of that one. It's weird when people care so much about someone else does or doesn't have. Yeah, yeah, and that's why I fight and rant so hard, Keisha. And people always tell me, "Elias, why do you care so much? Elias, just be quiet. Elias, just live and let live." I wish I could if other people would just let me live and let live, or people like me live and let live. Let us pastel lovers just live and let live. I wish I could go a day where I don't see people shit on normal ball pythons or or hear people shit on pastels. How come everybody else can say what they hate and shit on snakes that they hate, but I can't clap back or respond or defend? I can't do none of that shit. That's what pissed me off. It's like y'all let certain people go on platforms, go on podcasts and shit on these snakes and shit on that snake, And the minute I say anything about DG, oh, I'm the problem. I'm just fighting fire with fire. I told y'all I'm a clapback nigga. I'm a fight fire with fire, motherfucker. You shit on what I love. I'm a shit on what you love. Y'all like ashy snakes that look like the printer has ran out of ink, that looks like motherfucker, and then y'all try to. This is y'all. Either y'all are colorblind or gaslighters. Y'all talking about DG brings helps the contrast. DG helps with the contrast of the snake as an adult. It has such great contrast. Motherfucker, I'm a photographer. DG does not do shit with contrast. I'm a fucking photographer. Go to a painter, go to a graphic designer. They will tell you the same thing. These faded ass ghost like snakes does not have fucking contrast. It looks like the printer ran out of ink. It looks like the Dollar Tree crayons. Like there's nothing appealing about that shit. That shit hurts my eyes. Ain't nothing photographable about that shit. Like if you really want a contrast, or if you really want to test something and see if a snake is worth looking at, go to a model. Go to a photography model. Because I've worked with a lot of different photographers. And hell, look at the GOAT, my online father, who I always call my dad, even though he's not my dad, he's actually younger than me, but the snake father. All the snakes he worked with, he works with retics, he works with boas, he has ball pythons, he has all these snakes that he do these photo shoots with these celebrities and these high profile people, and he makes all he's so successful with this photographer and snake rental stuff. But guess what? I ain't seen not one damn ghost like DG snake on these photo shoots, because they don't look good on photography. They don't look good with the flashing lights. They don't look good. Y'all are so trying to convince yourselves that those snakes look good. They do not. The contrast is shitty. As a photographer, as a videographer, that shit is shitty. You have to adjust the white balance a little bit extra to fix that shit. You can't just go by the iPhone and what that sees, because the iPhone has and even Samsung phones has an AI component software that adjusts and changes the shit. It's not what you really see. When I do these photo shoots, when I get booked for these photo shoots and I list them, all of my snakes, I show them the blue-eyed Lucy. I show them the all these orange snakes I got. I show them, I'm starting to show them the banana, Loki, my banana. I show them these snakes. And you know which snakes they pick every time? You know what snake, before she went and took a break, was always booked and busy? The one y'all say brown out as an adult. Coils, my pastel. She has more bookings than my normals. But guess what? My normals have more bookings than any of the morphs. That's your true eye tester. People say breed snakes that has the grandma test, whatever looks good to a grandma's work. I kind of agree with that, but you also should see what snake look good to a photographer. And I'm telling y'all, these ghost snakes, these snakes that save a snake from browning out. Yeah, it saves a snake browning out, but that shit still looks weird. Still looks faded. Still looks like the bitch needs some cocoa butter on it. And the reason why I'm going so ham on DG is because I'm sick of y'all talking shit about pastel. I'm going to defend these normal looking snakes, these brown snakes. I'm going to defend them true and true. So if my clapback seems spicy and mean and low down and uncalled for, oh well. Every time y'all wake up, y'all want to shit on pastel just because it don't look good in clown. That's not pastel's fault. That's clown's fault. And stop trying to breed everything into clown. Everything doesn't have to be bred into clown. Every time a new morph is premiered, y'all say, oh, I wonder what that looks like in clown. Can't wait to see what that looks like in clown. Like, think for yourself. Think for yourself. Stop following the masses. Stop following the market. Stop looking at morph market every 2 seconds like, oh my gosh, that's a poor quality. That's a good quality. That's a bad quality. These are animals. These are living creatures. I never heard anybody say that's a poor quality blood. That's a high quality blood. That's a poor quality looking king snake. That's a high quality looking king snake. That's a poor quality looking Burmese. That's a high quality. I never heard people talk about that shit like we do about pythons. Like y'all getting on my fucking nerves. People like that, I hate y'all with a passion. Not the people in the chats. Again, I have to say that for the people who just coming in. But these people who breed ball pythons because they want what Justin Kaboka have, they want what Ozzy have, they want what these people have, they want, like they said, there's levels to this shit. Well, they want to be on that high level. They can think for their motherfucking selves, and they don't give a damn about these animals. Like I said, every podcaster, when you interview these breeders, the first question you should ask before the even interview start is, if you did not breed these snakes, would you own one as a pet? And if the answer is no, if the answer is I would never own a ball python if I wasn't breeding them, then you don't fucking love ball pythons. Facts. Facts, Wiz. Like, whew. I want to thank y'all for letting me go on this rant. This is supposed to be a Marvel review. This this episode was supposed to be me reviewing the Marvels, but after seeing that episode of MJ's podcast with that loser Ben Shapiro sounding looking ass motherfucker, I was like, fuck reviews, because I got to defend ball pythons. To. I got to. Because those of us who actually love these snakes are few and far between. We are the minority. Those of us in the chat who actually love these snakes and would own these snakes as pets if we weren't breeding, we are the minority. Filled with the majority of motherfuckers who are just in this for the money. If they were to see a ball python in the wild, they wouldn't give a shit. And we don't need them in our community, but unfortunately, we're stuck with these motherfuckers. Let me go back to the chats. I'm so behind. Yes, yes. A normal ball python is the most important ball python, and nothing makes DGI hypo better than pastel. Pastel is king. Pastel is king. I agree, Elias. The love you have for the animals is something more people. Yes. Thank you, Keisha. Thank you. I wish we had more people like us that are out there, and less people like the ones like that motherfucker who was on. Let me. I don't want to give him any clout. He already got enough recognition, but again, this motherfucker's on my never buy snake from list. But I'm tired of calling him Ben Shapiro sounding. uh, uh, let's see. What's that nigga name? Kyle. Kyle. Oh, he looks like a Kyle and sound like a Kyle. Kyle Hoffman. Yeah, that loser ass motherfucker. I bred a ball python in 90 days. I bred him in 90 days. A male. Shut the fuck up, bastard. Your mama should have swallowed. Your mother should have had you in 90 days. Oh, man, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry for this rant. I love these snakes so much. I get so passionate about these snakes, and I hate that the most shit talkers, the biggest shit talkers, is not the people who don't like snakes in general, and it's not the people who breed and work with other species. It's the motherfuckers who breed these things. They're making money off these things because they only see dollar signs. They're treating them like shoes. They're treating them like clothes. They're treating them like a Harley Davidson motorcycle. When these animals have hearts and brains and personalities. And again, no other community from different, because I'm in other groups. I'm in other groups that I don't talk about a lot because I like to shout out my peoples, like the V Unit, Wiz Tank Clan, other groups. But I'm in blood groups. I'm in BOA groups. They don't talk like this about they normal snakes, they normal blood pythons, normal short tails, normal boas. They don't talk like this. I'm in a few king snake groups, and king snakes, that's another snake that has a lot of different morphs and colorations and stuff. They don't shit on their king snakes. And guess what? King snakes brown out as adults. Their blacks don't be super blacks, except for the Mexican black king snake. But even then, there are certain Mexican black king snakes that don't look as vibrant as adults as they did as babies. That's natural. That is natural. That's the way of life. No adult animal is going to look like it did as a baby. But you don't hear the breeders and the people who make money off these animals shit on the animals the way ball python people do. They don't talk crap about them. Like, I just, oh, try not to get heated again. I'm trying to get zen. I need to listen to Andre 3000's flute album again so I get back to my zen. Because I was good at first, but the more I started talking and reading the comments, oh, yes, Chris Hartwood. Yeah, those some good people for beginners. Those are the people I start off with. The people you just named, Smay, right there in that comment. Yeah, I start off watching those people. But yeah, Green Room is good. I love Green Room. He's very positive and he's very educational wise. And you know what else I love about Green Room is that he proves to people that ball pythons are not just pet rocks if you give them enrichment, if you give them a reason, if you take them out their drawers, out their tubs, because he breeds too. He breeds ball pythons too. But guess what? He has playgrounds and all these types of setups that he takes his snakes out and let them roam around the house. The ball pythons do the same thing the retics do. They climb, they engage, they go around, they explore. They're not pet rocks. They are not pet rocks. And that's why I love and respect Green Room Pythons, because he actually shows that in his YouTube videos. But nobody cares. They just want these snakes as puppy meals. They want these snakes as breeders. They don't care if they have a personality, if they want to explore. They don't care if the world knows that they can act just like a boa or a retic. They can engage and have a personality just like them, or they can be just as smart. They don't care. They don't want the truth. They want to keep perpetuating the lie and the rumors that these are ball pipe, that these are rocks, pet rocks. Yeah, Donnie is ruining Kevin's thing, but I'm glad that so far the past couple of episodes or vlogs that they have released has been educational. It has been like him trying to tame down certain snake species and stuff. I love those type of videos that Kevin do. That's why I always give Kevin his respect. And I just wish Donnie, because Donnie is, as far as YouTube goes, he knows his analytics, he knows what the people wants, and that's good. That's good. But I just wish Donnie would take a back burner and just be the cameraman. There's nothing wrong with just being the cameraman. There's nothing wrong with that. As a photographer, as a vlogger, as a YouTuber, someone who's been doing this since 2008. I think my first video I ever uploaded on YouTube was 2008. Ever since then, like I get it. I get what Donnie's vision and what he's trying to do, but I feel like he's ruining the reputation of Kevin and his educational sense, and Kevin and his smarts. Like, I have Kevin McCurley's books on breeding ball pythons, not the big giant one that Nicole has. I wish I had that, but I have the smaller, more condensed one. And Kevin knows his shit. Kevin is smart. Kevin knows his shit, and I love that aspect of his channel as far as beginners and learning, because he does teach you. Kevin is the goat when it comes to socializing and training these animals, and the stuff that he applies to his venomous snakes or his retics or any of his colubrids, you can apply to ball pythons, because guess what, ball pythons can be spicy too. Have y'all watched Hair Down Friday lately? Poor KG from Bum Projects be fighting them little baby ball pythons with them tongues. Them baby ball pythons be out for the kill. But guess what? The stuff that Kevin McCurley suggests for other snake species, you can put for ball pythons too. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I have a ball python in my collection that I have not introduced to y'all. Her name is Ursula. She'll give you a run for money, man. I think I'm more scared of her than I am of Hades. And he's a boa because she don't back down. You know how some ball pythons are, where they might hiss or snap at you, but the minute you take them out, they're puppy dog time. Not Ursula. Ursula ready to fight through and through to the very end. You could be holding her, she gonna tag you. I do too. I have a inchy spider hunch. They had hypo. I'ma breed her still cause other people ain't helping me with the project payment. Exactly. Fuck them. Fuck their opinions. They can say, "Oh my gosh, you're breeding spider. Why would you breed spider?" Man, shut the fuck up. Cause I like spiders. We're as long as we're educated enough to know not to ever breed spider to spider or spider to spot nose or spider to other allelic combos that are deadly and lethal, it does not matter. As long as we're not doing that, leave the spider balls alone. They can be bred. People have been successfully breeding them to this day, and most of them without a wobble. Shout out to the blackheads. Blackhead ball pythons can, uh, if you breed it to a spider, it will take away the wobble or mask the wobble. Great job. There are other things you can breed a spider to that will not hurt the animals and will not have dead babies upon arrival. I have bullies and I've never bred on their first heat, and the C-section is very common in their breed. Yeah, yeah, that's what's up. I know a bunch of dog breeders. We actually have one who's our next door neighbor, and man, those I feel so bad for those dogs. I'm not trying to diss my neighbor because he's a good guy as far as helping us out and stuff like that. But just how I feel about these snakes, I wish dog breeders would quit breeding these puppies when they're still puppies. Let them motherfucking mature. Give them a year or two. Don't just because she's in heat doesn't mean you have to just throw some dick to her. What's up, the bear? El Papa, what's up? Thank you, Keisha. Yeah, April. That's when it was. April. I couldn't remember if it was April or February. I didn't know it was springtime. Yeah. Great times, great time. And I wear that with a badge of honor. I wear that with a badge of honor. I wish I had a plaque that said honorary suspect. Y'all should do that, Keys. Y'all should make like little certificates for all the honorary suspects, like little plaques. Like it ain't got to be expensive, just like the little paper that says honorary suspects, 2023 April. Just kidding. But yeah, that's when I realized that I wanted to breed. And it had nothing to do with money. It had nothing to do with fame. It had nothing to do with world's first. I don't even think world's first exists anymore because every everything is everything. We done mix and bread and stuff. Like whatever you think doesn't exist, it exists somewhere. Whether it exists here, whether it exists in Canada, whether it exists in the UK, whether it exists in Africa. We done crossed everything. Ain't no world's first. The only world's first is probably Het Bosa's. Speaking of Het Bosa's, y'all waiting on Bosa Carnage? Yes, Bosa. I've been waiting on Bosa Carnage or Bosa Nannies. If you're waiting for someone to tell you that Sunset is dope, y'all crazy. I just wish people would stop determining their entire business off what other people are doing. Like there are some breeders who are strictly like I as even though sunset ball python and me, I don't hate the sunset because it's brown or it looks like a turd or whatever. It just doesn't spark me. It just doesn't wow me. Even as a baby, because people are like sunsets are beautiful as babies, but they suck as an adult. No, even as babies, they just don't wow me. But I commend the sunset breeders who don't give a fuck that people shit on sunset and they continue to work the project. I love that level of that level of determination, that level of love. Like they don't give a damn that y'all hate sunset with a passion that some of y'all shit on sunset and say that it looks like a turd. They're gonna continue to work sunset no matter what, and I commend them. And that's how I'm gonna do with the dark jeans. That's how I'm gonna do with the VPIs, and that's how I'm gonna do with hell even the old school genes that are shunned, like the pastels and the spiders. Like, I don't care if I want to. If I see something I like and I want to recreate it, I'm gonna do it. I, my bad, Justin. Pressure, pressure P. I meant, well, y'all know who I'm talking about. Yeah, but yeah, Justin. Yeah, yeah, Justin. Pressure P. They need to get off your dick. They need to think for themselves and not wait on you to see what you upload. That applies to you too. uh, is it really worth the energy ranting about it? Giving them all the energy drains you, not them. Hey, again, I get what you're saying, the bear. I get that, but I just love ball pythons and I'm going to defend these snakes. And I don't care if my ranting does not affect them. And my energy, honestly, once I rant and get this over with, I'm good. Like, I am good. Once I finish this podcast, I am good. I'm straight. Um, it's just that I'm tired of people openly shitting on the snakes that they are making money off of and showing that they really don't like these snakes and they don't give a damn about these snakes. When, like, why are you in this business? Why are you working with them? Why are you recreating them if you really don't like these animals? Like, I'm going to defend these animals through and through because I'm an animal lover before anything else. I love these animals more than I love humans. Again, if there was a human being on the train tracks and the train was coming and a ball python on the train tracks, I'm saving the ball python and letting that human ride out to the sunset. And I have no shame in saying that. So when people openly go on these podcasts, go on these platforms with all these people, all these impressionable people, and these new breeders saying, don't breed this, don't breed that, that's shitty, that's ugly as an adult, I'm going to defend these snakes because I love these snakes. Even the DGs. I would defend, I won't defend a DG. I won't. But if someone had put a gun to my head and say, save a human or save a DG ball python, I would save a DG ball python before I save a human. That's what I'm saying. That's how much I love ball pythons. And I'm going to defend them when shitty ball python breeders come out and talk shit about them, even though they're making money off them. So that's why I'm ranting. But trust me, once I get off this podcast, I'm good. My energy is not drained or devalued or down. Like, I'm good. Because at the end of the day, the at the end of the day, these brutes are going to be the same motherfuckers that say, you know what, guys, with much consideration and thought, and I'm bowing out. I'm selling my collection. I'm gonna try new things and go another direction, or I'm gonna go to another path in life. Like, because you don't give a damn about these animals. And the only reason most of you breeders are fighting so hard, supporting USARK, has nothing to do with these animals, and everything you're doing is protecting your bread, protecting your money maker. You don't give a damn where these animals live, die in the wild, in captivity. All you care about is your money. And that's the only reason why you supporting USARK, because you want USARK to make sure your money isn't affected. Let's talk about it. They want to put everything in the clown because Justin's doing it, and clown is so versatile. I thank you, Ro, for putting that in quotations. So versatile. I mean, and I'm saying this as someone who has clown in the collection, but clown is not like, if I have a notebook of all the different projects I want to do. Clown is just a sauce or a pepper to the ingredient. It's not the main focus. My main focus is these dark jeans, trying to get a snake as dark as possible, as black as possible. Because I just love dark jeans. I love the black hairs. I love the black pastels. I love what they do to things. I love the Halloween look. I love the dark. I just love dark snakes. And if I got a dark snake and it doesn't work out in clown, or it doesn't look good in clown, guess what? I'm gonna still keep that snake, but I'm not blaming the gene, the other genes. I'm blaming the clown. I'm not gonna say, oh, that looks horrible and that looks horrible in clown, so I'm not gonna breed it or I'm not gonna work with it. It's the clown's fault. I actually really liked the Marvels. We went in with zero expectations, pleasantly surprised. Okay, thank you, Keisha. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, I'm the type of person I'm not gonna let, just like I don't let these breeders dictate what I work with as far as ball pythons. I don't let these critics and these movie reviewers on YouTube dictate what movies I like and don't like, because a lot of people and guess what, there are a lot of people on in the world who watch these YouTube channels, watch these critics, and they will determine based off the critics what they go see. And one thing my dad has taught me is to have a mind for yourself, because if I went and only watched movies based off what critics say, there will be a lot of movies that I would have never saw and end up liking and loving. There will be a lot of movies that I would have never exposed myself to if I just followed what people said and thought, oh, that critic doesn't like this movie. Well, I'm not gonna like this movie. Like, what the fuck? But I'm glad to hear that you said you liked it. And to be honest, I think I'm gonna like it too, just because the critics hate it so much. I think I think that's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna end up liking it just because they hate it. But I want to see for myself. I'm gonna judge for myself, and then I'll come back and review, and we can talk about it. I may, boss, I may have some big gecko moves coming soon. I'm working on. Okay, the bell. All right. I talk about Bosa. You know what, the bell? Maybe one day I'm gonna have you on the podcast and we talk about the gecko world, because I want to know, do the gecko world, do gecko breeders shit on normal geckos, or the low end or low quality, or the harlequin geckos, or whatever, like the way these ball python breeders do? Like, if you breed lily whites, do you shit on the other, the Dalmatian geckos? Like, is there a beef like it is with ball pythons? Because I don't see it in any other species but ball pythons. If you're, let's see, if you're not doing it for the love, you're not gonna do. Yeah, yeah, you're right. Oh, I love urban camo stuff. Every time I see those, let's see. I don't know how to feel about US ARC. I'm a hobby breeder because I'm a hobby breeder because me and my wife love animals, but it's not. But it's giving my money that could put in the food of the snakes. I mean, hey, you got a point there, Smay. You got a point there. I support US ARC because they really have helped fight laws that affect us, as because even though we are hobby breeders, we're smaller breeders. Um, there are some states who only they don't follow science. They don't follow they don't follow science. They don't follow, what animals, what the reality of these animals are. They only follow what Florida does. So if Florida laws say this is banned, they want to follow suit. They want to do that too. Not realizing that these snakes, if they were to ever get out into the wild of Georgia or Tennessee, they're not going to survive. Like, if my snakes were to be outside right now, they'd be dead. It is cold as fuck. Like, they're not going to survive. Um, and so U.S. ARC has fought laws to keep people like me, um, from, to keep us having the ability to keep these animals as pets. Even if I don't give a damn about the breeders and the breeders being able to keep these animals and cross state lines, because most people support USR just so they could have the ability to cross state lines, go from state to state and sell these snakes. To me, I don't give a damn about that. All I care about is, can I have these as pets? And if I can't have them as pets, then, you know that would be sad. That would be a shame. I'll be depressed if I can't have my normal ball pythons as a pet. And US Ark has helped fight laws that would try to potentially keep that from happening. But I get it. I get it. I get why certain people don't support US Ark or have a different feel of US Ark. But then there's some people who just, some people don't like US Ark just because they are in the pockets of um, the government. They are the reticulated and Burmese python hunters who go out in Florida and hunt the snakes and sell them for the skin trade and for money and stuff. So those people who talk trash about US Ark and against US Ark, I don't care for those people. But people like you who are like, you know, questioning, where do my money go? Is it really helping? I get it. I understand. I get it. But your donation could be as simple as $10, Smay. So it's not that bad. So even if your money didn't do shit or go to anything, you just lost $10. You know what I'm saying? I'm in South Carolina. We just can't have takers in our guys. Yeah, that's true, but it could always change. Laws change all the time. Like the government tried to sneak in the Lacey Act or a new version of the Lacey Act, which was to ban a lot of snakes, including, boas and ball pythons were at risk across the board. They tried to sneak a law a, in a law that was going to affect us countrywide, not state to state. And that's why we were like gun ho and like support USR, donate, 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 help them with their lawyer fees because had it went across the board, had it went into effect and crossed the entire all 50 state line, we would have all been fucked up. And none of us would have had a lot of these snakes. Like the boas would have been in danger as far as laws go because it wouldn't be, oh, it's just Tennessee and Florida and Georgia. It would have been all states. And when stuff like that happen, when they try to sneak little things like that into law, that's when USR come into play. So, you might be good for now in South Carolina, but shit could change. Shit could go south a year from now, 2 years from now. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I ain't got no money to pay for no lawyer. So I rather support the people or the connections. I rather support the people who do. You know what I'm saying? Um, wow. This might have been the longest episode of my motherfucking life. No, I get it, Smay. I get it. I get it. And it's and you probably need someone to explain it to you better than I can, like Tim from Intrepid Exotics or Nicole from Lady Tiz Exotics on US Arc and all the work that they do to help explain it to you better than I can because I really can't explain as much. I'm not very well versed. All I know is when I get those alerts that US Arc sends saying, hey, they trying to sneak in this law. Read this document, this jargon, and it's saying it's gonna affect all the states across the country, and ball pythons is in that thing, or blood pythons, or boas. I'm paying attention. You know what I'm saying? I tried, but thank you. But wow, this has been a long ass episode, but it's a good one. I'm glad I released my frustration and my anger, and I let it out. Next week we would have some reviews. I got some music reviews already on deck in my mind. And I got the Marvels, and I think today, because I got a lot of free time today or tomorrow, I'm gonna go see that horror Thanksgiving movie. Because I want to review that and see what that's about. So I will have movie and music reviews next week. We are back to our regular schedule program, especially now that the SAG after the strike has been lifted and all the actors and writers are back at work and we're now reviewing the big name movies and stuff. So yes, we will be back to reviews next week. Thank y'all so much again. This episode and every episode is brought to you by Mutation Station Ball and Lucy Land Ball Pythons. They are our sponsors. I want to thank everybody who lasted this long. It's been upwards of 10, 11 people at a time throughout this podcast. Everybody who chimed in and gave their input, everybody who support. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna let y'all go about y'all day and finish having a great weekend, a great Saturday. This afternoon, tune in to Lady Tia's Exotics, her Reptiles and Cocktails podcast. Please tune in to that. It's noon my time central, might be 11 p.m. certain people. You know your time zones. And then also, thank you, Smay 606. Thank you. And then tune in to Wiz and Joey D's Sophisticated Ignorance podcast. I love that podcast. I look forward to Sophisticated Ignorance every Saturday, the same way I look forward to Keys Hair Down Fridays on Friday. So please tune in to those later on today. Again, next Saturday, I will be running the St. Jude 5K. So I will not have a live podcast normal time that morning, but I will come and review and do a podcast later on next Saturday afternoon after Lady Tiz's podcast. So please come and hang out with me later on in the afternoon next Saturday. Don't you ain't got to wake up early. You can sleep in next Saturday because I will be walking the St. Jude 5K. So please, I will tell y'all the time. It will be later afternoon between Lady T's and Sophisticated Ignorance. Sometime in that time frame, I will go live and review some movies and some TV shows next Saturday. And I will remind y'all on Instagram of that time change. Oh shoot, I forgot Hunger Games. You know what? I might go see that before I see the Thanksgiving movie. I'll see, cause I only got time to watch one film this weekend. So I forgot all about the Hunger Games prequel. Shit. Hmm. The Marvels and Hunger Games or the Marvels and Thanksgiving? Y'all find out Saturday. Y'all find out Saturday which one I decided. But yes, we will be watching. Guys will be getting movies and music reviews next week. Um, oh, no problem, Keisha. Oh, thank you, Smay. Yes, please hit the bell, hit the likes, hit all that jazz. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all support. I appreciate y'all being my therapist this morning and listening to my rant. um, and just don't forget that these are animals that we're working with. Don't forget that these are living creatures. They have a heart, they have a brain, they have a mind of their own. And don't forget that it's not always about the money. At the end of the day, if you would not own this snake, if you was not making money off of it, maybe you should not be working or making money off that snake. If you really, if you know without a shadow of a doubt that this snake would not be in your house if you was not hustling and driving it and slanging it for $1 bill, then maybe you really don't love these animals like you claim you do. And that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say on that. And then I'm done with it. You ball python breeders who hate ball pythons, there's a special place in hell for you. Your creator, your higher power, your God will handle you in the afterlife because he sees and he knows your heart and he knows that all you care about is the almighty dollar and you don't give a damn whether these animals live, breathe, or survive as a species. There's a special place in hell for y'all. Just like there's a special place in hell for those dog breeders who really don't like dogs or really can't stand dogs, but all they see is the thousands of dollars for this Yorkie poo or this miniature schnauzer or this. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. May God bless you. I love y'all. Peace. We will see y'all in the next episode.